know that I have a deep secret that I want to introduce you guys to and talk about. Because it's not against the Ten Commandments, and I don't think that there's a big deal with it. But drugs, I want to talk about. Um, a lot of people claim that it's so bad. I would like to know why they think that when there's a cure for it. And I've explored a lot in life. I've explored, and I found there is a cure. There's no way of stopping people from doing something that they're gonna like. If they're not finding love in other areas, sometimes they go that route, and it's not a big deal because they're doing it to themselves. And like for me, I feel like if AA and NA is being used like church, that's what drug addicts do too. They talk about things, they have their own little circles, and they come down to the point where there's nothing up from the floor, down, up. They make the decision if they want to change. That's when they can surrender fully to God and stuff. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I would just wouldn't like say that it's a thing to also like and also be like, oh, it's okay to do. If that's something that you guys don't want, we're already making sure that certain ones at a certain age are not doing that, so they're gonna be really pure when they grow. The thing is that like some of us too have been waiting to actually have that drug test, and it's what I've learned along the way was that saying the truth does set you free. And so when they ask you when was the last time you used or whatever, be honest. And then what are they going to do? They're going to set you free because they don't have to go and prove those things to anybody. And like I've learned a lot along the way. I'm not young and I'm not old, but I just wanted to be clear on that because I don't think it's against the Ten Commandments, and I don't know why it's not used for science and other areas, and why the disposal place can't be used for science. Because something in that's bothering people is probably because that the mind just sits and does focuses, and I don't know, like it's it's something that fulfills, not at all, because I have found a how do you say, the part where the power higher than myself, but I found it during the time that I was, probably using, and that probably was the breaking point because everything's just falling apart at that point. So then you learn along the way that I don't need my friends in my life if they're going to be doing that. They can't come knocking on my door no more. I want my family and I want them. And then that's your choice. You want to spend time with your friends or you want to spend time with your family. But I'm so glad I never lost my kids along the way. And like the thing is that like when somebody gets their kids taken, it's something that's not cool. I wouldn't really recommend that because everybody needs their family, and it's there's too much out there in this world that it's in danger. It's dangerous, and there's a lot of monsters out there. And my worst fears have already happened, and like I just I don't really know where to surrender from here, but believe me that I'll get through things and I'll do things in a way that it's like I'll have everybody on the same page as me, where we're like, we're not gonna accept a lot of things, especially harm to anybody, um, especially kids. I would feel that that was probably those things that you should fear even when you touch that in a wrong area, because we grow up and we remember everything, and there's no telling them that they're crazy, that they're anything like that, because sometimes you're always going to have somebody like that, but then there's me that's always going to have somebody's side. So it's like we're in a day to day that we're not going to accept that bad talk, and we do recommend that people start speaking up. And um I don't know, like we need some resolutions on this thing. I want to know where the problem is with the drugs part, or is that a way to be going and coming up yourself? Because we need to have it to where we're gonna dispose it if it's a problem. And I'm pretty sure that the cartels from Mexico can handle that. They can dispose of that. We have resolutions for every situation here. It's just that it is time for change, and we want to know where you're at. Like the whatever you want in life, God's gonna give that to you, and we're gonna be on the same side if that's what we want. We're not recommending anything, but I'm telling you, I could. There's a cure for it, and the cure is the phentermine pills and the vitamin B12 shot. I know because I've tried that. I've experienced on my own, and I went 7 years good, cured. I just got bored along the way, and I just like did when I did that, it was because I surrendered for Jesus on the cross, because I said, all right, well, I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to do this just for you. You gave your life for us. I'm going to do this for you. I don't know if it's going to take a day. I don't know if it's going to take a minute, but I'm going to try to give my minute. I'm going to hold my breath if I have to, just to get another minute in for you. That's a lot, because I do this a lot, right? And so then I'm like, and I just to get another minute in, I'm going to hold my breath again, and it might not even go a day, but as I did that, I surrendered for him the way he did. I said, okay, I'm going to put my hands like that. And then when I'm going to get rid of my friends, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell them, don't come knocking on my door. I'm going to show my friends too, we're capable of changing. But if they don't want to change, that's okay, because they're still my people. But from here on, it'll be hi and bye. I still need you guys always with your eyes and ears, always making sure whatever, tell me anything that I need to hear. And that's it. We're not gonna hang out anymore, because I'm not gonna put my friends, or I'm not gonna be smoking my kids' lunch money, rather than when I could be giving them lunch money to eat, and me smoking on a dime. That would be like not cool. I would feel real bad, and my kids deserve more. So one's gonna be going to high school. The next one will be going to high school the year after. It's like the next one's gonna be going to high school after that. The next one, and they're all gonna be in high school together at a point that I'm gonna be having to come up with lunch money 4 times. So that's the time that I decided to just like stop. And so I did that. I sacrificed, and it went good. Honestly, I just didn't want anybody thinking that anybody's better than anybody, but it wasn't. I had no withdrawals either. The vitamin B12 shot and the phentermine pills are recommended as a cure. If you guys wanted to change, if I was ever like in a thing where I can have a bunch of people, I bet you I could change a lot of people like that too, because it's contagious. It's contagious to be good. Um, and this is a whole new walk right here coming this New Year's. So we're gonna have to have some resolutions on where we're gonna dispose of this, and like whatever you guys want, we're gonna try to achieve that. Um, we're not gonna have it to where somebody's over here coming up on anybody. Like God said, He'll have to put a criminal with the criminal so that they can know where what it's like and what the problem is here, and they know how to speak to each other. Um, all I'm saying is that like there's not gonna be no I've already like explored everything to where I'm already telling them, hey, just say the truth, just say the truth, you know? And yeah, it's been working so far. Uh that's it. That's pretty much it. And don't be running from the law and have a clean record, and it's expected. But I heard in Mississippi though that my friend one time she got in trouble with the law for drugs, and that it was Brandon County. I want to say that the people in there put her they raped her, and they said that because she had drugs on her thing. So it was like there, you know what we do to people with those kind of charges or whatever, and they raped her. And well, you guys never want to do something bad to a good soul, because we could only take so much, but some of us have these divine things around us too, that they're really strong spirit. And it's like, well, how do you think the world changed in 11 years? And what else was I thinking about today? 4 years ago, 4 years ago was like the Afghanistan leave, I want to say. 4 years ago, the world changed too. That was a big call. That was one call out. Um, a lot of things might be remained in the mystery part, because it's already been asked. Um, but don't ever think that anything's impossible, especially from a drug addict. Um, don't make fun of them. You might find yourself in that situation where you're raising one. Don't be so negative towards them. Um, just pray for them. I'll always pray for the addict that still suffers. Pray for them. Pray for yourself. Pray for yourself more, that doesn't come back to you, because sometimes it just bites you back, and that's because you're being however you are, like judgy. And I wouldn't recommend that. If anything, I would feel more sympathy for everybody, because it's not something that it's easy to just stop. You'd have to have that encouragement, and I believe I can change that. I believe I can change that, um, because I had tried everything. I've tried the women's home. I tried a lot of things. Nothing helped, and the only thing that helped was the time that I did surrender myself, and that was solo in the room. Um, I was at my wits already, and I held my breath. I put my Jesus on my head. I thought about him. I thought about the things that he went through. I thought about the things that I went through. I know that um, God knows the things that I've been through. Um, so I'm trying to like understand why a lot of things, and well, so that I come to the point where, well, you know what, I'm just gonna be sober when I do not snap anymore, because I'm tired of calling the cops on myself already. I'm tired of calling the cops on myself, and I'm tired of every time it's always me, I always get in trouble. And then they like the suicidal room sucks, you know? It sucks. And never in my life have I ever felt so violated either. Thinking that I'm gonna go into jail and it's not gonna be so bad, but you say you're suicidal, they don't ask you when. I'm like, oh, that was so seventh grade that I was thinking about that or whatever. And but I don't like the techniques that they do for anybody doing I mean, and they should ask when or whatever. Like I wasn't thinking about being suicidal that day. And so when I prepared myself, I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna say I'm suicidal, and I'm never gonna like just not. I'm gonna be ready for the drug test the next time. That way, I want to see what happens when I'm telling them the truth, and they want to go and prove me. Well, I'm gonna have to just follow the law, and so like because at a point you'll lose trust. Everybody will lose trust with you, but they'll be all judgy all the time. It's okay, it's normal, but try to have faith in them that there is hope, and there is, because like look at the faith that came with God. He came really to our knowing. And I didn't know he was gonna do all of that. That year, 2023, the book would have closed. It was gonna close in October. And October, uh the book was gonna close, but he came to our knowing on April. He came on April Fool's Day, to tell you the truth, and I thought that was a perfect day because I was like, "Whoa, is that real?" And it's really him, and I just couldn't like stop seeing him, and I shared him to the world, like, "Oh yeah, this is him. He's the one that told me about the book, you know." But at the same time, it sounds like, oh, she's hallucinating or whatever. Um, but it's very hard for me to talk about this story without being judged or saying it in a way that that makes sense. Because I still haven't found a way to word it right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if he chooses it like that, it's because he has faith in us always, that he doesn't judge us. He uses us to get through to others, and he uses us because maybe we're all the same. But I didn't see bad things. um I know he's real. I just can't understand how still. But um I know why he chose me too. It's because he said my name would be perfect. And I was like, what do you mean? And then I was like, because I've had revelation. I mean, revelations came and ended short in 2013 and 2014. They were really short lived. 7 years went by, and then like boom, the Afghanistan leave happened, right? And then yeah, I had something to do with that. And then the 30 days after that, I told him, well, okay, well, I'll wait till I'm done with my Robinhood, because I have 30 days on the 16th with this Robinhood thing, and I want to see what it does. I want to see what my 6 cents does. I put a penny to everything after it went up to $3.66 the next day. I put a penny to everything I could possibly think of. So I ended up with the Pacific, the what is that? The Canadian Pacific. I ended up with a lot of things. I ended up with the special coin too, that I was able to give it to two countries. That was either Mexico or Canada, and I only seen that Canada had one coin. So I'm just gonna give it to Canada because they only have one, and Mexico has a lot, and they already have a special coin. And so I moved it. I said, okay, I'm gonna give it to Canada. And so then I ended up blessing Canada with one of three special coins that I had. Um, it's like these coins were very, very powerful too. They're from Robinhood, but I I was just like trying this thing out for 30 days. I took the whole stocks like in what, 2 weeks? Yeah, while they were leaving Afghanistan too. If they weren't, I even told them too, like, hey, I just bought ESPN, get off the dirt. And so they did. And I was to myself like, nah, is that who he meant? God, when he told me that he'd give me a voice as loud as his. that's not possible. Like, I don't think my voice is that loud, but I still don't know. But that's one thing. Then I end up with the Gemini coin by the 24th, and I take these classes for like MIT or MTI. I own MIT software since October. So MTI, the class that I took was learning the PIBs, and this is all in the 2 weeks of August 16th, 2021. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy Sand and Dirt. Those were my two buys. And then I'm gonna buy ESPN. I end up with RBX or like the coffee thing, and then so I used 6 cents to try this out. Right now I'm up to 331. So the numbers might move like really slow on my end, but because it's really low, that's how low I have it. Um so if it does shrink down the whole stocks, that's because it's down to that. So I used MTI as a strategy too. That I said, well, I can't really be an entrepreneur, but if you want to know my strategy, buy Santander for 6 cents and let's see what happens, right? Because I got a good one. And so then I don't know why I had it in me. Well, I think I seen a commercial that said something about that. It was a Tony the Tiger commercial, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm just gonna I'm gonna call back. I'm gonna use another strategy." So then I said, "Okay." So I called them, and I was like, "Okay, well, buy Sand and Dirt." And so it was like already the 26th, 27th of August that they did that, and the whole stock market went blank, boom. And I was like, "Whoa, are you seeing this?" And I'm like texting the guy, and I was like, "Wow." This was like amazing. It was the day the game changed. And so like I'm like, yay, I'm ahead. He calls me back the next day. He's like, hey Virginia, if we make it up there, what do you request? And then he's like, for me, if you go up, he's like, I want 20% for all market traders, a raise. And I'm like, okay, well, if I go up, I want a parade and I want a book. And that's for 2021 that we're all doing this. So that's August. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'm loving this Robinhood thing. And I go to work the next day. I'm like, hey, guess what? You guys want to know what a wobble effect is or a ripple effect? And then I go, but today it's a real ripple. Well, there was started to be all kinds of fires and stuff that time too, I remember. And they were like the ashes were pretty close. So I'm just like thinking name brands, and I'm like, you know what? I think I just took out I'm gonna take out the Senate. I'm taking the Senate. I'm gonna take out everything that's bad watch. I just bought Santander, and I'm gonna go digital. I'm gonna build a book, and the book's gonna be the book of books. And I'm gonna put I already bought every element already with the pennies from the $3.66 that went up. I put a penny to everything I could possibly think of, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good. And so I bought everything to buy to make a dollar bill to a house. The only thing that I was missing was the power, but Tesla somehow ended up blocking me in, and that was all 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to figure out the stocks. So, and I'm like, oh, well, I feel something right here. And I'm like, August, September. I'm telling them, like, oh, by the way, we're already done marching, Biden. Like, you guys need to hurry up, right? I'm like, the Mexicans are coming. And so then, like, I kind of riddled it in, but I didn't mean that. Like, I didn't really know they were going to come, right? I just knew that my voice was going to be the voice that anything that I'd say would come true. It would happen. And so I'm like, I don't know what this is. Anyways, I don't even really know God too well, but I know he answers now. So anyways, and somehow along the way, I become a genius kind of. And so then I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to do the book. So then October, I get my income tax really late. And then I'm like, oh wait, $10,000. Woo! I'm gonna buy the book. I'm gonna buy a book, right? I'm gonna buy the book of books. And I don't know what a book it is, but I'm gonna look for it. So then I'm like, oh, you know what? I just bought the website title, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna buy the book of books.agency. Oh, yay. So then I'm like, I buy it and it comes out to be Bible Truth Books. And I'm like, oh, Bible. That's kind of like, I think that's like a sin. I don't want to write in it, but it's like blank. And what I do, so I leave it blank for like, but I write in it a little bit, like a diary kind of. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. Anyways, like if I die, I'm going to go and give it to God anyways. I'm just going to tell him I couldn't find his book and I bought him this one. And now he's digital, you know? And I'm like, well, that'll work. And he's the one that told me about the book anyway. So yeah, my mission here was the book, to do him the book of books. And this because when I met him, he showed me a book and he was telling me that the government wanted the world to forget about him. And then I seen like bombings on the lands where the three crosses were, and I seen like bombings, like the war, and I was like, wait, is that why the war? And then I was like, they're really trying to demolish you, huh? And I was like, he's like, yeah, I don't know why they even keep doing that. They never win. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, don't even worry. When you come back, because you're lucky you met me. I know a lot of people, like, your story will never be forgotten. I promise. And I'll hold you to, I mean, you died for us. Why not just like tell the world about you more? And so then, like, because I don't think it's a lie about the life after death thing. I'm pretty sure if he grants you the eyes to see, then you'll have that blessing, but you have to be pure, I think. So it doesn't matter about drug addicts or whatever at that point. It's like if he grants you the eyes to see, you can see things. And that's specifically from him. I know a lot about life and I know the eyes. I do know that he's that real. And so a lot of people don't really know him as good as it seems. I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot, but have the faith, continue to read that book and continue to spread the good word about him because like he's real. Just don't be so like I mean, don't be unsure about the things that you're talking about when you are talking about him. Like really know it. Put it in your heart, facts, truth, everything, and then because we don't quote it, and we're the ones that make things like people write about it. When I was a baby, I guess everybody like my name was a gift. Um, he said it would be perfect. Oh, no, I'm not the Virgin Mary. I think it's Maria Corina, or something like that. I think that's her. Me, I'm here just because of my name. My name would have fit perfect. That's why he chose me. He said I'd be the one to take things to a level where no one has. And he said many have tried, none have ever been able to take it as far as you will. And I was like, but I don't really want to meet anybody. I don't want to go out that door anymore. I'm done with life. So I don't really know if I died spiritually that day or what happened. But it's something that I'll never forget. Maybe, yeah. I want to say life, you can die while you're alive, but you also can live while you're alive and dead. Like there's a piece of you that just you won't get ever, like something in you that will not hold nothing on you, that you're just like you'll let grudge go. You'll let And that comes with sacrifice, because you'll let a lot of things go in life where you become more pure rather than focusing on what others have, what others do. And you'll learn to love you a little bit more when you focus on you, because that's what's important. You have a body, and the difference between spirit and body is that spirit can see everything, but if they don't have a body, they can't really they don't have a shield that they can use the vocals, the voice and stuff, unless God grants that the eyes for you to see and the ears for you to hear. And so sometimes spirit will play with you, and you'll see things that, like, well, when they came to me, they were like, oh, well, we wanted to see how you were holding up with all of this going on. And I'm like, oh, I am seeing things, huh? um why do I keep seeing like it's so spiritual? And they're like, well, the reason why we're here is because God specifically chose us to come speak to you, and he says you're the one. He says you are going to be the one. And I'm like, he's like, so we were all talked about it, and we were, some of us don't, some of us do, we don't know, but he wanted us to make sure that we specifically spoke to you. Want to know if you could forgive him, if he wants to know if you could forgive him. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I got a good life. And then he was like, for everything that's happened to you when you were a little girl and what that mean man did to you. And I was like, well, you saw? He's like, yes. He's like, he hated it. He's like, but you see, this difference between spirit and human is that we don't have the shield of a with the body like you do. We can't just come out like superheroes and save you. So we feel it's very important that you know that, and if you can understand why he couldn't just save you. But he saw everything and he hated it. And I was like, oh. So he wanted us to ask you personally if you could forgive him. And I was like, and if you can have some understanding in that. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm learning forgiveness at this time. I'm also like having a moment with my loved one, and I'm like having the talk with her too. And they're like, okay, and we're even gonna go and tell him everything that you're speaking about. Sorry. They're like, we're even gonna go and tell him everything about this whole conversation that you're having. Like, we feel like it's a good conversation, and we want to let you know that you're handling things real well. I'm like, I want to kill her. But then they're like, well, after today, it's your last talk. It's time to go. You have to say goodbye. And are you ready for what's next to come? And I'm like, what's the next to come? And they're like, it's the next best thing. So say goodbye. Say what you have to say to her, and you need to forgive her. And I'm like, oh, how do you even forgive? And they're like, I go, don't you just like fight and like then it's done? And then I go, you get out? And like, no, most people think that, but no, just tell her that everything that you need to say. Then it's time to go, say goodbye, and then let's go. The world's waiting for you, and the best things are yet to come. And it was so excited, like, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, I don't understand anything that's going on. But okay, I'll forgive her. And then it's like, but when you forgive her, you need to truly mean it. And that means that you can't be wishing bad on her or no getting her back. If you forgive her, let it go. There's no reason for you to hold on to the past when you're not really going back there anymore. And just tell her where she went wrong and that's it. The world's waiting for you, and it said, and after, it's anything you want. I'm like, anything I want. I don't want anything. It's a sin to want, isn't it? And they're like, after you forgive her, then you get to show her what envy does. And I'm like, she envies me. Isn't it like a sin? And I'm like, anything, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. So anything that I get, I want her to receive too. So if it's a blessing, make sure she gets blessed too. That's all I can say is like, I love that one. And that's where I'm at. I don't really want to say goodbye, but I love her so much. And so she comes in the room and I'm like, hey, me and you, we've had a lot of talks lately. It was nice getting to know you. I love you. I've never had this talk with anybody in my life that I couldn't even hit you earlier. My hand wouldn't move. My hand was like cement to the ground. And I think it's because you're blessed. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's in the blood or something, but you're blessed too. And you got some protection on you. And that was weird because my hand was like cement to the ground. I don't want to hit you bad. But after today's going to be our last talk. There's not going to be no more me and you time. It's a pleasure to know you. And I really don't want to say goodbye to you, but I have to be going on my way now, and everything's gonna fall into place for me. I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna get a place. I'm just not gonna be around anymore. I want you in life to not be a hoe. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do a lot of things. Don't do things to people in life to hurt them because it hurts. And if I ever seen you hurt, I'll be mad. I'll be mad. So go live your lovely life. Live it, love it. Love who you love. Don't play with love. And love's not that bad. One of these days you're gonna fall in love and you're gonna love that person. Like, you're gonna love them where it hurts you when they get hurt. You're gonna love. And then if I see you cry, I'm gonna be hurt because you're crying or whatever. So I need you to stay strong, keep that hardcore, and love what you love. Definitely, it's not a bad life out here, and I don't ever want you to think that I would ever turn on you or do anything bad to you because I'm not a person that loves to see anybody hurt. I don't get a kick off of that. And I'm gonna tell you, the only reason why I'm forgiving you is because even if you don't ask, maybe you didn't know better. Maybe you didn't know better. And that's all I can think about. Like, maybe that's got to be it. And I'm going to blame God real quick on this because it's got to be too where it's not even written. It's not written. That's the only reason why I'm going to let you pass through. In life, when my mission is done, there's not going to be a lot of things going on the same. There's not going to be no more of that hardcore stuff, no more gangsters. I doubt it. We're done. We're done being gangsters. We're done being wrong labels. And I can't let you even accept that if anybody ever try to label you that. It's not allowed. It's not acceptable. That's a wrong label, and that's an easy 25 to life. So don't accept that. And two, if I ever needed you, I need you to be there that minute. Cameras are pretty common now. I don't think I want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to misrepresent myself. to where everybody's thinking that that's okay, especially if somebody has a camera. So if ever, anytime, if I ever happen to fight and a camera's involved, I need you to take care of that for me. Make sure they delete it. And so I can't be having those evidence thingies on me. I need you to be that on your toes for me. And because in life I still need you. Um, not knowing that I'm having these conversations with her, her knowing what to do the minute that accidentally did happen along the way in life. I'm like, you know what? I just fought. I think I seen a camera. And I gotta go to Delano real quick, and I gotta go get some food for the kids, and you know. So I was so scared. I didn't mean to fight that day, but this girl was sleeping with my husband, and she lied to me instead of telling me the truth. And so then I'm like, oh, I don't know, my eyes closed. And so then I call my sister later, and I'm like, hey, what happened? Oh yeah, see, I already said her. What happened? And I go, did they record? And she's like, yeah. And dang. And I go, how'd you get the video? And she's like, I just said, let me see it. I just went over there and I told the little kids, let me see it. And then I said, you did? And she was like, yep. And she's like, they were all happy to show me. That's good. She's like, and then I looked at it, I watched it, and I went, bloop, delete. And I was like, oh, thank you. She's like, now go in your backlog, delete it again. And I was like, you're smart. Dang, thank you. Like, whoo. So the cops didn't see that. And so, like, yeah. I don't recommend fighting because the cameras nowadays and we're older, and it's like now time that we step up in the resolution part and come to conclusions on everything. But yeah, we'll be the last of the OGs, and we're the younger ones that all the 1959, because the towns here barely started around 1959. Some of them were even smaller. It was mostly like a ranch, all these areas, Delano, Rich, Coverly Mart. And so they were like ranch, and it was like they're just growing towns. And so, well, we need to establish the territory too now. Get familiar with your people. And I was thinking about a government, digital citizens government or something. Like, what are we gonna do with this book? Or like I even call it New Americas Now. These digital things, 2021, I would say that is the year of currency and digital. So nobody can really say that anything had rules since 20, since 2000 or whatever, right? When Bush started the war or whatever. So everything's changing now. We have to have rules for the currency. We need to have like no more like Trump getting into Navy Federal or whatever to pull out of these black markets. So we're gonna have to have some bank rules, like individual process, like because I don't want to be robbed. I don't want people robbing from anybody, and I want the opportunity to be for all. I still don't trust banks. I think I want to stick with the Mexican, the whole Mexican thing, because I don't want it to go away. So we're gonna have to preserve that, our roots, and it's important because my grandfather has land here, and so I feel that the land, it can be changed. We don't even want the names changed to Hispanic, Latino, because we want to stay Mexican and we want to stay with the roots. So Hispanic, Latino is gonna have like an area of where it is, because it's not here in California. I don't think, and I don't even know what it is. Like, does it mean make him panic? Does it mean, what does it mean? Like, what's the meaning of it? Or is Latin? Because I know I've spoken that before too, that I can understand and speak many languages. I went from slang to proper That's how the shift changed too along these ways. And in AI, when it took effect, that was 2023, I want to say as well, that it took 1 year to get all the work done better, and it only took 15 minutes to teach. So I need to know where the highest in the education classes are too. I want to have everything done by the 31st so we could continue with this establishment and resolutions. And I need it clearly understood that things ain't going to be running the way they were before. Um, Especially a lot of things like I don't think we're gonna say or put it on anybody that immigrants is a problem, because it's not. We want to even lower the housing because it's our land too, and we're not gonna be trying to pay 10 times. And while Ohio lives rent free, low, the territories here is everybody's land. Everybody needs a house. The housing before was 25,000. Nobody needs to be over here thinking that they're gonna have to pay 1 million so that they could keep robbing you, because that's gonna be abuse and illegal too. We're gonna have some resolutions on a lot of things, um, and I'll be firm on it. Um, so put the drugs last. We don't not worried about that. We'll resolve that rather by having it used for science in other areas like Mexico, or if they want to do that, have a disposal process and make clear on the ground rules. Um, because the things, and two, oh yeah, a Mexican government. I was thinking about we need that here. That way we can develop the system to have it where we're the courts, Mexican courts, so we can have our own little jurisdiction, and that has to be implemented too. Today, I just that came to me, so we can have our own jurisdiction, our own government. We don't have to follow the same. We do have to follow the same, but it has to be under. It's like a house. You have a house. You have people living in it. It's like not a men's home or a women's home, but you know how they run. So the house will need to have that. Maybe we can do it through a church or something, but I through the Book of Books, I'm registered as a nonprofit organization as well, so I would be able to have whatever you guys can use that and put my name on it, and I will vouch for that and say yeah, pass it or whatever. I'm already registered as the Republic of Mexicans since um, the deadline, like 3 or 4 years ago already. I'm under Virginia Flores Beltran, and I'm not getting any money, so I don't care about money. I'm suffering myself until I see everybody come up first, because I need to see that nobody's stealing from anybody and that everything's there as accounted for as it goes, however it goes. I need to make sure that nothing's like being out of line. So there's going to be more of the quality and the quality control. So we're gonna have to like literally go word for word on every line. The way it was taught in catechism, like we're gonna have to like go line per line, sentence per sentence, and see if everything makes sense. And if it's said in English as it's said in Spanish, because that's how technical and we're gonna get. We want to make sure that things are on point in a way that they're understood both ways, three ways, always. And that's for the all same understanding. Um, so Mexican territory here is still Mexican territory, and I just want to know where the mix-up is, because honestly, I feel like the property owners who have already paid off their houses need to be paid in full, and they don't need to be paying $800 extra for property taxes, because I feel like if they want to buy their own homeowners insurance, they should do that for themselves. But we're gonna have to have limitations on everything. Um, yeah, I think that's what we need to do. That'll be all. So I hope everybody has a great day today, and We're gonna walk into a new establishing. Oh yeah, the establishment was on Christmas, December 5th, 25th, 2025. Mark that day down. That was the day that the establishment started. Um, yeah. So we'll be going forward with resolutions. Resolutions will be like the resolve, how to resolve without a fight. Because there's a lot of cameras, nowadays, and we don't really want to be inappropriate. And um, AI is great too, but also too AI. You need to watch out for that because I've learned that they're already manipulating it, and you also have to reread that and make sure that it's still saying the same things because it can change, and we don't want that. Stick with like the 2.0 process or the 2.5 and don't update because it's gonna take up your data and it's gonna ruin your whole storage on your phone. um I wouldn't recommend the updates. Stick with the two is second to one. um 2.0 is second to one. Also too with the native part, we're not really like worried about that on this area because like we're not even gonna have base, we're not gonna have race in this. It's not for race. Everybody here is treated the same, and that needs to be understood that we don't need that conflict. All we want to do is have a good life here, everybody on the same level. And nobody, if anything, that anything would be owed to would probably be the real citizens of here that are of Mexico, because they're the ones that hold it down here, and those are the ones that are going to be the ones that will be able to like sign off on everything, because that's how it is, and those are the citizens of Mexico, Mexican citizens of Filipinos. um we'll have to put a territory part. I was thinking maybe Canada for Filipinos, Mexicans. 'Cause we're already shifting up. We're already Canadian. They already, and oh, that's what I was gonna say. The 4 years, the Mexican Railroad that already passed. It's done. It's done. It's completed. That was that's done. So I'll vouch for that. 4 years it took, and I haven't seen it, but I know that it was a fast project that they did. I heard about, I mean, but I don't know how. Yeah, I don't think there's a railroad in Rich Grove anymore, but we can definitely work on that. But I think it's unsafe too, so we'll probably need some underground ones. I don't know. Anyways, it's all about the come up. Nobody here wants to be like not being able to be productive, because like me, I'm not working right now, but I'm working, and I don't really like money, so I just don't want ever want to be worth that much. So I'd rather be worth 6 cents. That's where I'm at, and that's how it's gonna be. Because I already seen all of that would happen with that. So I just need everything in its place, not tampered with, not moved. Everybody should be able to see that growth, and banks should not be taking from people's savings when they're supposed to be growing with interest, if that's how it is. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we need to discuss, like the penny that you guys give for like the whatever the things are worth is not acceptable, because we're not going to be robbed anymore. We're not going to rely so much on the bank taking care of our equities and savings, because we can do that ourselves. And obviously, how things were tied up before, it was hard. So I've already practiced everything. I know it's tied down good, but there's going to be resolutions for a lot of things. And I just feel like it's got to be just understood that, so that there's no madness, but more like growth and happiness and faith in this, because there's nothing but up from the ground now. Um, Understand that. And if it's not your place to to have a say, probably just not say anything because you probably won't win. And like that's just nicely saying it. And not trying to be rude, but that's what it's gonna be. Um just respect everything. And if it's not your place to be coming up in this area anymore, then probably just go your own way and accept that. Um because we're not here to be robbed anymore. Nobody here is here to bring anybody down. It's not even acceptable. No, I'm not even winning here, and I'm winning, but I'm not winning off of money, and I'm not winning off of like I'm not. When I get a job, I know I'll be ready for that job, but I know I could already teach a million that I'm doing right now to be speaking in the same quality standards when I get there. Um, so anybody everybody's like you everybody here is here for a reason, and they already have their readiness. Are you ready though? And I needed to be ready because I needed to be to where like you understand this without conflict or his I've been thinking about a lot of things that mm, everybody's just great. Everybody for me is like they're not bad. And so I'm giving myself a headache though, so I need to go get some rest. Mm, I didn't even read all of that. No, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the viewers. Now I am. Hi, I am. Yep. So Jesus is one, and then there's the other one that was sent. And go back to Mexico. I'm Mexican, and this is the territory where I'm gonna be. We have land here too, so I don't really care about the critics. I'm here. I'm gonna be here for probably the next time around life too. Um, obey all laws. I do. Just say the truth. Um, I love critics. I'm come from Delano, Rich Mar area. That's center. To our country. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Why we need to make sure that everybody's like statuses are checked because we don't want any Russians thinking in here. I don't know if they are documenting them right, but they need to be documented right. We're not Russia here. We're not Ukraine. And the social securities need to stop paying that part because we would rather invest in the soldiers here. We'd rather have the Mexicans and the Filipinos or whatever join together, whatever, make more task force because the government and stuff that we're going to be doing is like, I don't know who has a problem with that, but why would you have a problem with it? And that's all I want to ask. If you guys can put that in the comments too, because it doesn't make sense to me when America is not even on this side yet, and it's not even been established yet. The only reason why we would probably establish that is because we like the way it runs, and that doesn't mean that it's a status. Like, it doesn't mean that you're American. That's not your blood. Like, it's probably it's more like a religion, and it's not even on your birth certificate. It's not a status. Therefore, it still means alien. Everything is not on the birth certificates that says you're a human, or does it say you have a status, unless the only thing that I've seen on birth certificates is 1978 and 1979s that have areas. So that's it, like where your mom and dad are from. And that'll say like Texas, Reynosa. That'll be a different kind of document that they'll hold. But other than that, I haven't seen nothing that ever says anybody has a legal status here. So everybody's a alien. But after the website, the government that we're gonna do establishes, everybody will have that human, they'll have the statuses, they'll have what they are. But for us right now, that's probably a specification that we're gonna need. And it's important because everybody needs to be accounted for, and we need more to be involved with the towns, know who's living in the areas, and that way nobody's like Russians are sneaking in, and everybody's paying their correct things. That if anybody's gonna be living rent free like Ohio, that everybody gets the same treatment here, and nobody's like gonna be living over there like squatters, and then like charging us $1 billion to live. And that's probably why we're gonna need to stay with the army and the stuff here to hold it down. And then by the end of it, we're all gonna be proud of America, because and Mexican, then we can be able to work on that words right there, because American doesn't even have a status. Even production knows that whenever you have a production, you have to have your labels right. You have to have your labels right. You got to have your born on date. You got to have every detail that's on there on a document at least. And I've seen some from 1959, but that doesn't mean anything. Like those are probably like closed out on those insurances, and I'll look more into that I know, because I have like a lot of records still. So we're pretty well documented here. Then we'll let you know where you're at for those who are in that same area of American, and we can work together with resolutions. Because it doesn't make sense to me where somebody's not even on that don't have it on a document at all in any other paperwork. And USA is missing periods, so it spells usar, and that's a Spanish word meaning use. It's got to be down to the periods, because that's where the misunderstandings there. Periods, not it spells a word, and then like you're teaching the EEUU wrong things when that doesn't even mean anything. Like, well, no, we could use that still though. We're gonna use that for everybody's education university, universal university or something. Like, we'll still use the things that are in now, but we're gonna put it to where it's understood and all same knowing. That's it. There's nothing to fight about. I can handle critics. I just don't want the conflict. I don't mind it though. I have my address everywhere. I actually welcome it because I love conflict, but I love meeting it more personally rather than it. I don't like conflict, but I love to meet my people that do have conflict with me because it's something that I just love to do. Um, I've never really had conflict. Well, whatever it is, I don't really pay attention to conflict because I'm older and I just want to be proper now and present that way. Um, I wouldn't even. I mean, I wouldn't recommend any bad. Mm, oh yeah, I was ignoring. Let me see. Oh, let me see my comments. Bye. Good night. I mean, bye.